In my last video, I talked about the cargo trailer I built out with the help of my brother-in-law. Now, I may not have enjoyed being a nomad, but I really did love that little trailer, and I was proud of the build that we did. Since I still have the pictures, I thought maybe some of you might enjoy seeing them. The trailer was purchased from a company called Weeroll. They had only been around, I think, less than a year when I came across them in 2017. This is the custom trailer I ordered in 2017. It's called the Weeroll Nomad, and it was 8 feet long by 6 feet wide by 6 feet tall. It was important to me that I be able to stand up in it and that it was wide enough for me to place a bed across the width. I grabbed these stats off of their website. The standard equipment on the Nomad has changed since I bought it. Mine didn't come with windows in the nose. I had two 15 by 30 windows placed toward the back on either side for cross ventilation. My Weeroll came with a max air fan, the electric is shown, insulation in the floor and the walls, and an AC port that would fit a standard window air conditioner on the driver's side. I also ordered the blue color and the tongue box for my propane tank. This is what the trailer looked like when I picked it up in Ocala. You can see the blue exterior, the diamond plate aluminum fenders, and the 15 by 30 inch windows on the passenger side. And here you can see the other window and the port for the air conditioner. The box hasn't yet been attached to the tongue. The floor was plywood, but the walls were a white finished vinyl. The inside of the barn doors were also raw plywood. This is a picture of the trailer after my brother-in-law and I have put in the vinyl flooring. I picked an ash gray wood plank look vinyl flooring on a roll. I think I paid maybe $40 for it on sale. And in this photo, you can also see the hatch for the air conditioner. This is another view of the finished flooring. And in this picture, you can see the RV-style locking door on the right side of the trailer. These are the barn doors where I stained the plywood with a mahogany stain and finished it with polyurethane. You can also see the max air fan in this picture. In this picture, we're starting to put the kitchen together. I found the cabinet, which formed the base of the kitchen counter, along the side of the road, so it was free. All I needed to do was paint it a little bit. I hired a handyman to cut the kitchen counter. My brother-in-law is handy, but didn't feel comfortable with making sure he got measurements right. The counter was made of plywood. We cut a hole, and I dropped a stainless steel mixing bowl into the hole to serve as a sink. The handyman also drilled out a hole in the trailer's nose so that I could feed a hose from the propane tank up through the cabinet and through the countertop to use for my small propane stove. Here's a top view of the kitchen counter, and you can see how the bowl was placed as a sink. This was the bedroom platform, or the bed platform going across the width of the trailer. Again, remember the width is 8 feet. And I'm 5'4", so that was plenty wide for me. I chose the height to allow for placement of bins that I'd already purchased so that they could fit under the bed for storage. And I also wanted to be able to access some of the bins from the barn door so I didn't have to pull everything out to reach what I needed. It's not shown here, but I drilled holes in the plywood base to allow for air circulation under the mattress. Now we come to some photos of the interior being finished. The bed was an 8-inch memory foam, which I did have to cut down a little bit to make it fit. The bedside table was one of those drawer units from Walmart. The tall cabinet I think I got off of Wayfair, and it was one of the more expensive things that I bought. I think it was about $100. It was anchored to the floor and wall with L brackets, and I used it for my pantry. There's another cabinet with a bookcase topper that you can see just a little bit of to the left in the photo. I think I paid $10 for that on Craigslist. I painted it white and also attached it to the floor and wall with L brackets. Next to the tall cabinet is my cooler, which I was going to replace with a Dometic fridge, but I never got around to it. I also placed a throw rug on the floor because I'm a girl, and that's what girls do. This is another picture of the bed and the barn doors. Yes, lots of pillows, because I'm a girl, and that's what girls do. The stained glass window I have hanging on the door is one that I rescued from a Victorian house that was being demolished in the late 1970s. It's been with me ever since, It's not super practical in a camper trailer, but I just placed it under the mattress when I was traveling and then hung it up when I got to camp. It has to go with me wherever I go, and it's here with me now. This is a picture of the finished kitchen. My solution to not having a plywood countertop was to take brown paper bags, tear them into small pieces, and then crumple them up so that they would get really wrinkled. Then I applied them to the plywood base using some watered down glue. Once that dried, I used a little bit of that mahogany stain to bring out some of the wrinkles. And then I put on so many layers of polyurethane. The end result was a countertop that looked like old leather. I loved it. For the backsplash, I got some aluminum ceiling tiles from Home Depot, and I used caulk to put them up on the walls around the counter. And for open storage, I got 2 wooden crates, painted them white, and hung them on the walls above the counter. Bungie did a pretty good job of holding things in place when I traveled. Under the counter to either side of the cabinet, I made some curtains which I hung on tension rods to cover that space and create more storage, stuff that I wouldn't have to look at. I decided against getting a water pump and putting a water container underneath the cabinet to use for the sink. Instead, I just got a iced tea jug with a spigot, and I placed it so that it was over the bowl that I was using as a sink, and then I strapped it to the wall. I think I actually used a belt. And I strapped that to put that on the wall and then strapped it into that belt so that I could easily remove it to be refilled, but then kept it secure while I was traveling. And that's a tour of the Weeroll Nomad that I and my brother-in-law built out. As you probably caught on, there's no bathroom. I had a cassette toilet, and I also had a shower tent, which I used in camp. I really did love the trailer, the camper trailer, but no bathroom was one of the things I hated more than I thought I would. Here's the contact information for Weeroll, and their website is weeroll.com. Back in 2017, I dealt directly with the owner, Tom Cafaro, but as much as they've grown, you would probably be speaking to somebody else. I don't know. Also, it should be noted, if you go on their website, that the prices you see for the Nomad now are more than 3 times what I paid for mine. They also have some overland options that are really, really cool. So even if you don't have an interest in buying one, it's fun to scroll through the website and see what they've come up with. And they really are very extremely well made. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And once again, thank you for watching.